Coming to you from Big Blue Nation on this sunny Saturday afternoon. This is the Pre Game Show presented by the Tennessee State Sports Production Network. Good afternoon, football fans. I'm the man with the plan, the host who does the most. My name is Prudential Logan. I'm joined by my co-host from Cartersville, Georgia, Todd Dean. Todd, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. We have a big day ahead of us. It's senior day for the Tigers.
It is.
And the matchup we will be covering is the Tennessee State Tigers versus the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. Todd, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man. Let's get this thing started. Kick us off with what we got on Tennessee Tech.
Tennessee Tech is a 3-6 team. They're 3-3 in OVC play. Their record doesn't really show their talent. They're a big passing team. They haven't really established a running game yet or really anything on the defensive side of the ball, but passing the ball is where they shine. They have wide receiver Dantes Berg, who has been lethal all year, and it's been a change of culture in their locker room. I spoke with Coach Foreman and a few other players this week, and this is what they told me.
We've given them a clear message and a clear direction of the way we want this program to go, and we kind of just did everything on a daily basis to shape our kids the way we want them to live life and to play football, and it's given them a direct path of which they have to travel in order to get to that goal, and I think our kids bought into it wholeheartedly.
There's not one person that's not bought into the process of what the coaches are trying to preach here. In the previous years, we all did our own thing. Selfish guys were on the team. I'm not saying we didn't have a good bond in the previous years, but they just weren't bought into what the coaches were trying to help us do and the players that were trying to help us become.
I've never been a part of a team where the coaching staff is so hands-on and so, willing to share every bit of knowledge with you. I've learned as much here in the last few months than I really ever had playing any other place in college football. So it's just been special being able to learn and grow as a player and grow in the leadership role that I've been able to do so here. So that's been pretty sweet.
Well, as you heard, Todd, you can see that culture is very, very important in the locker room, arguably the most important element to a team outside of the athletes you put out on the field. You see all across every sport how teams may have a good coach, but if the players aren't buying in, then the performance on the field won't, amount to the skill level that the team actually has.
Right, and that's the thing about Tennessee Tech. The culture has changed, and you can see that these guys are really buying in, and they don't have a lot of wins, and I believe that's mostly because they're young, but the 3 wins that they have been close games, and they've been, just dog fights, and this team has pulled it out. I actually spoke with Coach Foreman about winning those close games and what that means to this team.
A lot of our games have been close, and it comes from a young team learning how to win. And those games, I think, showed us that we can get over the hump in tight situations. Other situations during the year, we haven't kind of made that jump. But those games were 2 that we decided that we were going to go in and fight through the adversity and come out on the winning edge.
Well, Todd, you see this team has a lot of fight in it, and they're winning those close games. And while they may not be winning every game, they are fighting to the end, and they're showing the guts that a young team needs to show. I feel like this team is very up and coming.
Right. That's all you can ask for is a good fight from this young team. And I believe Tennessee Tech will be good in a few years, but not right now. Today is all about Tennessee State.
Speaking of Tennessee State, we're going to transition on to them. They actually faced some adversity early on in the season when they lost starting quarterback O'Shea Ackerman Carter. And, instead of this team falling apart and not competing like they should, this team has actually bonded closer together and became a family. And we actually caught up with Coach Reed, linebacker Chris Collins, and quarterback Ronald Butler on how tight this team is as a family.
This started in the offseason. It started in recruiting. We were able to bring some guys in that were able to help us immediately. We addressed some needs on the offensive side of the ball with some explosive players, Stephen Newbold, Chris Rowland, Sabree Curtis, and those guys, Earl Harrison. Those freshmen have come in and made immediate impacts. But it was a culmination of things. It was our off-season workout. It was our training during the summer, that led us to where we are right now.
Coaches help us prepare each week or week in and week out for the games. And, teammates, it's big. The confidence that we have in each other is just the spirit around us. I feel like that's what helps us keep going.
We're a family, whether it's the defense or the whole team. We like to consider ourselves as a family. We always break it down on one family when we huddle up. And they are brothers, and everybody treat each other like brothers. So it's going to be like a regular household. It's like you're going to have arguments, you're going to be fussing and all that, but it's all out of love and care for each other.
All right, Ty. Well, you heard from Coach Reed and players Chris Collins and Ronald Butler, and this team is very tight. They're playing together as a family, and their play on the field is absolutely showing it. They're 6-3 on the season, 3-2 in the OVC, and while the defense is being very lackluster this season, the offense is absolutely killing it.
Yeah, Ronald Butler has been a true leader all year, and he's definitely the best dual-threat quarterback in the OVC.
Right, best dual-threat quarterback, and they got a lot of explosive players on this offense like Patrick Smith and Eric Evans. But without further ado, we're going to transition now into our keys to victory for Tennessee Tech. Todd, tell me what we got.
They have to protect their quarterback, Michael Birdsong. If they don't protect him, it's going to be a long day. Also, they want to establish some type of running game today. That's not what they do, but if they can do that, they can keep TSU on their toes. Also, they got to stop Ronald Butler and the running game. If you make him pass the ball, you might have a chance at winning today. But it's going to be tough for him.
It will be tough. It will be tough. And actually, we caught up with Micah Birdsong on what he thought Tennessee Tech had to do to win today.
We have a lot of athletes out wide, from guys going down, people stepping up. Earlier in the season we had Kip and Brock and Dantes and Chris, and then some injuries happened. And we got Jordan Smith stepped up, Austin Hicks stepped up, Alex Carling, Jordan Jabberty. There's so many athletes out wide. It's hard not to have good numbers. And when you got two running backs in the backfield like Yeedy and Goldsmith, it takes some of the pressure off every now and again. After watching film, a little bit last night today, they have plenty of athletes over there. We're going to have to do our jobs well and be just sound, like Malik was saying on defense. We play fundamentally sound football. It'll all take care of itself. One thing we need to do is run the ball, and we can do that. We can get that game going. It should be a good day.
All right, Todd. So after hearing from Micah Birdsong on what he thought Tech has to do to win, in my opinion, I feel like the Golden Eagles have to get their offense going. Tennessee State has shown that they have a problem containing high-powered offenses, and if Tech is able to get some form of a running game going, or if they're able to get Dantes Bird open deep, I feel like it could be a long, long day for TSU. Highly unlikely, in my opinion, but I feel like it could happen. Now, actually, we caught up with Coach Reed and Chris Collins on what they thought TSU has to do to win today.
We got to play better on defense. We got to tackle better. Last week had to be our worst game tackling that I've ever seen. But I think we've got to tackle better on defense. We got to be able to get lined up. We've got a few young guys over there, so it's a little tougher task for our coaching staff to be able to get guys lined up with all the shifts and motions. But we've got to do a better job as coaches getting them lined up.
The main thing for us on defense is getting into the film room and on the drawing board, making sure everybody knows what they're doing, the discipline and what they're doing.
But, we got to do what we did last week also and cut down on penalties. We only had 3 penalties last week, and I think that was the lowest penalty total that we'd had all year. But offensively, we got to keep scoring, and we got to be able to run the football. This is a tough defensive front from what I've seen on film. And offensively, they got a big mobile quarterback that can really throw the football. And they're a little read zone option team, so we've got to be able to stop the run. But, they've got some weapons on offense. The Bird kid, number one, the receiver is a really good receiver and return guy. So we've got our work cut out for us.
Yeah, after hearing from Coach Reed and linebacker Chris Collins, Todd, I just want to come to you right quick on what you think TSU has to do to win today.
Tennessee State has to control the time of possession today. They have to run the ball and get a good balance running the ball because the defense hasn't played well all year. On top of that, that will open up lanes for your boy.
Patrick Smith, wide receiver. Piggybacking off of you, TSU has a very potent run game with running back Eric Evans and quarterback Ronald Butler, arguably the best combination in the OVC. And Tech actually has a tough time stopping the run, which should be an advantage for TSU. On another note, Tennessee Tech's offensive line has a tough time pass blocking, which should look like a buffet for defensive end Ebo Ogundeko. He should be able to feast on these offensive tackles this game. And one last thing, this Tennessee State team has to cut down on the penalties.
They have
this
to,
undisciplined football has led to a few tough losses for this team. So after hearing about what each team has to do to win today, we actually got a chance to sit down with linebacker Chris Collins, the defensive anchor in the heart of this Tennessee State team, on how he thinks the season's going and him actually being the motor for this team.
Defensive captain, team leader in tackles, foundation of the defense. These are just a few things that describe what Chris Collins is to this team. Coming into this season, Collins was expected to play a huge role and take on a leadership position. something that he takes very seriously.
On the defense is a lot of responsibility, making sure everybody's always focused, making sure you're on your game, making sure you're doing everything right, whether it's on and off the field, because a lot of people look up to you and a lot of people follow along, whether you see it or realize it or not. They're gonna match what you do.
The team is benefiting from Collins' vocal style of leadership and his wide skill set that allows him to do many things for this defense.
Chris is a very cerebral player. You know, he's not as tall in stature as most people would like, you know, the middle linebacker, but he makes up for a lot of it with his film study. He does what a middle linebacker has to do. He's a quarterback of our defense, and he's a rock of our defense. And as he goes, you know, the defense goes, so to speak. So it's great to have a kid back there with that kind of wherewithal to be able to get people lined up, to be able to, you know, call coverages in the secondary as well as focus on his own job.
To complement his talent, Collins' drive is what makes him the standout player he is today.
I want him to be great for me. That's the thing. I never want to be mediocre. And I know if I'm putting my team goals in front, everything else will fall in place. So it just comes with a lot of extra work after practice, before practice, being in the film room. Everything's always going to fall into place. So that's what keeps me going throughout the season.
It's Chris Collins' leadership, industriousness, and high standards that make him one of the best linebackers in the OVC. Any team would love to have a player like him on their roster, and we're just glad that he's a part of Big Blue. Reporting for TSPN, this is Micah Kennedy.
All right, Todd, so after hearing from Chris Collins, man, Tennessee State is so lucky to have him as the leader of their defense.
Yes, Chris has been a great leader all season. You hear from his teammates, his coaches, and he shows it. He's first to practice, and he's always at film study. You can't say enough about a guy like that. I look forward to seeing his growth as a TSU Tiger and as a young man.
Right, we're looking forward to it. We're lucky to have him for another season. And transitioning from defense to offense now, we're going to look at the saving grace of Tennessee State's football team, Ronald Butler, as we caught up with him this week to see what he had to say.
No OVC team can say that they have a quarterback quite like Ronald Butler. Butler has been on this team since 2013, and every season he's been called up from his backup quarterback spot to help this team succeed. There is so much that goes into making something like that possible.
I think my coaches, you know, they prepare me very well, especially Coach Parker. We have our meetings, you know, we go over film.
I think that he's prepared himself as well as one could be prepared to take over in the situation in which he did. And, you know, we haven't missed much of a beat.
Also, the teammates that surround me, you know, they help me be better, and they help me want to go harder for them to just win games and make plays. The confidence that we have in each other is just the spirit around us. I mean, I feel like that's what helps us keep going.
The dynamic of senior year is something that Butler fully understands. This team has many new faces that are already making an impact, and he has helped them along the way with the rest of his team.
Being a senior, you're an older guy in the locker room. You've played in a lot of games, so you have more experience. And it's big, you know, the younger guys, it helps you really motivate them and just correct things and help them get better as players, and that helps us get better as a team. A lot of young guys, they look up to you, you know, they see what you do on Saturdays, and they respect you in a type of way, just from being older and just being experienced from the game.
In addition to his leadership qualities, Butler does a lot for this team on the field. He has one of the best passing efficiency ratings in the OVC, and Ronald gives defenses trouble with his running ability.
Ronald stepped in, and I think he actually accentuated our offense a little bit with his running ability. So, you know, he gives us a dual threat presence back there in the pocket, and he's done a really good job of focusing and studying his opponent and knowing where to go with the football. I've been really pleased with his play.
This game will be Butler's last home game in Hale Stadium. This raises the stakes going into the contest and plays a big part in how Butler wants to be remembered.
I mean, that's big. You know, it's my last home game, and it's my college career. You know, you want to go out with a good memory knowing you won your last home game. We don't really lose that much in the hole. We haven't lost many in the past couple of years, but it's just to keep it going, keep the win streaks going in the hole. You know, it's a very historic place. The fans, the best part about the hole, you know. A lot of alumni and students come out, and, you know, the support is just major in the hole.
Ronald will most definitely be remembered in TSU football history for being such a dynamic player with such a unique situation. Reporting for TSPN, this is Micah Kennedy.
All right, Todd, so after hearing about Ronald Butler, he's a one-of-a-kind player. I just want to come to you right quick and hear what you have to say about him.
He's been special to Tennessee State. He was never the starter, but he always ended up starting. He's been selfless, and he's persevered through never being named the starter at the beginning of the season. And that's the type of guy you want as your quarterback. He's been a great asset. I can't say enough about this guy.
Right, he is, as aforementioned, one-of-a-kind player. He's been a 2016 sensation this year. He stepped in, and he's absolutely commanded this team. Like I said, he's a great, great football player. All right, so it's that time of day. The game time predictions. Tennessee State versus Tennessee Tech. Todd, tell me what you think.
I have Tennessee State winning today 35-21. I believe our defense will struggle a little bit, but overall we will maintain. On the offense, Ronald Butler, he'll run for 2 touchdowns and pass for over 200 yards. It'll be a big day for him. It's his senior night. I believe Tennessee Tech is they're a team on the come up, but tonight is not their night.
Tonight is not the night. So you said 35-21 Tennessee State?
That's right.
Not so fast, my friend. Tennessee Tech is going to pull off the upset today, 35-28. This Tennessee State defense, they had a struggle stopping offenses this year. I feel like that trend will continue on today. Tennessee Tech, Michael Birdsong, they're going to be able to pass the ball. They're going to be able to run the ball. I just feel like it's going to be a long, long day for Tennessee State today. 35-28, Tennessee Tech.
Okay, we will see.
We will see, absolutely. 35-21 Tennessee State, 35-28 Tennessee Tech. So, we're going to switch over to ESPN3 for game time coverage. This has been the Tennessee State Sports Production Network. I am the man with the plan, the host who does the most. My name is Prudencio Logan. This is my co-host, Todd Dean, and thank you for tuning in.